So since I didn't go out to see a movie, and I'm a little behind on my reviews of certain seasons of shows and things along those lines, I figured I'd do a little catch up. And why not start with one I only just finished, to be fair, about a week and a half ago. Umbrella Academy. I never read the graphic novel or the comic of the Umbrella Academy, but I will say this: watching the show made me want to look into it more. The show, if you obviously haven't watched it, is about a family adopted. They're all siblings, but they're all adopted. That all have abilities. Apparently, on a day in the 80s, like I said, I think they said like 42 or 46 kids were born that day at the exact same time. All the women who were not pregnant previously that day. Someone adopts them, makes them, or at least 7 of them, makes them a superhero team. Then years later, they're disbanded, dysfunctional, and so forth and so on. Where the show really shines is its characters. I think that, the story is interesting, but it's these characters that really sell the show. Whether you're talking about the actual Umbrella Academy themselves, the Hardgreaves themselves, whether you're talking about Hazel and Cha-Cha, hell, the commission, what was it? The handler, basically. I can't remember her name. They're all just really fun characters to watch and interact with. The story essentially is that years after one of them, number 5? It's 5, right? Yeah, he's 5. Number 5 disappears as he can teleport through space and time. Fortunately, when he time jumped, he was sent into the future where an apocalypse had happened. And he eventually gets back, but he's stuck in his 13-year-old body because he had aged all the way up to the age of 58 after being hired by these these chronal hitmen, time hitmen, known as the Commission. And he goes to warn them about the apocalypse, but, all the shenanigans ensuing in there, plus Vanya, the normal one, gets involved with someone. We learn more about her going on there. There's these hitmen from this organization, and all the while they're trying to stop the apocalypse, plus the shenanigans going on with Klaus and his drug addiction, the possible on-and-off relationship of Allison and Luther, and therein lies a little bit of what I don't like about the show. Not that I don't like. One of the issues the show raised for me, before I get into any of the massive amount of positive stuff, one of the issues the show really raised for me was they're trying to juggle a lot of plot points, and honestly, a very short run. See, it's not even 13 episodes like your average show would be. It's or what some of your average series would be. It's only like 11 episodes, and they try to cram a lot, and they do explain a lot. Like when we find out what Vanya's power actually is, they do more or less allude to what it does. They never flat out say what it does, but they allude to what it does. And I looked to confirm what was going on there. Yeah, I did check in. But like with the last episode, when I looked up some of the information for the series, they reveal there's some. I'm not gonna spoil because Mark didn't even know about this when he saw the series, and I ended up spoiling for him by mistake. There's a reveal about the father that is not well. You're supposed to get the implication about him from the scene we see him in as a younger man, but it never fully explains that scene. Like they never fully go into the concept of what they're showing you. And if they do that a couple times, like the whole who is this commission? Like they explain who they are, but who are they? How are they established? Hell, I'm gonna keep calling her the handler. The handler isn't even the top dog there. She has bosses she reports to. Who the hell are these time bosses she reports to that they have to basically keep going through time and making sure that things play out properly by killing the proper person that they have to. Who are they? What's going on here? Why did that serum give him Luther an 8 upper half? Why was he sent to the moon? Uh, there's a lot, like Klaus at one point who can talk to the dead, literally gets knocked out, but actually goes all the way to heaven, briefly, speaks to God, who's a little girl, and then has this talk with his dad. The more I talk, the more I go on about this, the more the more I find there's stuff that really kind of irks me about the show. The other one is, and Mark kind of argues this point a little bit, though he understands where I'm coming from, but he argues a little bit, is that Hargreaves, the father, it was not a very good dad. Now, I understand that from what I could tell from a little bit of the past we see him, he never had a kid. He's never had kids. Doesn't know how to raise them. So when he's raising these, kids to be the superhero fighting team, because he somehow had a knowledge of the apocalypse coming, he doesn't raise them like a father. He raises them like a handler, like a man. He doesn't see them as children. To me, in my eyes, anyway. And Klaus kind of has this explanation to him, but it's kind of just glossed over. He says, we were just kids. You are not just kids. And I can see both sides of that argument, but what Klaus says is, but that's the problem. We may not have been just kids, but we were still kids. And you never saw us as kids. It's not like you saw us as more than kids. You didn't see us as kids at all. You saw us as like in one scene in the past we get with Luther and Allison. They're kind of having this moment. They clearly had a little romance as kids, and they clearly still had feelings for each other. He says, there's no time. This is no time for tomfoolery. The time for that is between 12 noon and 12:15 on Saturdays. Or no, 12:30. Give him a full half hour of tomfoolery. Look, I'm sorry, guy. I know you're trying to save the world and all, but you can be a bit more lean. They're still kids. They may be more than kids, but they're still kids. And that's the problem I think I have with the way he views it, is that he never viewed them as kids. Or if he did not do it very well. He did not do a good job of it. There's a few moments in the series where you can get, like with Vanya particularly, you can kind of see that. A little bit with Vanya. But otherwise, no. I'll tell you what, though. Right off the bat, Pogo, one of my favorite characters in the show. Because Pogo's he's an old chimp that somehow Hargreaves gave him a human intellect and the ability to speak. Which was interesting. But Pogo, he's just the old man of the mansion now who's just the stern, wise caretaker at this point. And it sucks when we see him get skewered by Vanya, no less, at the end there. Obviously, this review has spoilers. So yeah, since the review has spoilers, Hargreaves is a fucking Illinois. I can't say that spoiler because that spoiler's not even in the show. So actually, that's not a spoiler I can talk about. But yeah, when Vanya basically takes down the house, it's upsetting to see. It is. What's also upsetting to see is the fact that Luther sucks as a leader. Can we just say that right now, folks? Luther sucks as a leader because he tries to bring them together. It doesn't work, obviously. Then by the time he starts to take his leadership as number one, what does he do? He locks Vanya away, and it's clear she was mortified at what she did. She thought she killed out her sister. So it's like he gives her a hug, then he basically chokeholds her, knocks her out, and puts her in that soundproof room, which doesn't work because she focuses on her heartbeat to get the sound to blow up the room. And then later he just decides, okay, Allison, go. Be your sister. Try to calm her down. All right, we're going to try to rush her, and that's not going to work at all, and it doesn't. But you briefly see that moment between Allison and Vanya when Vanya sees Allison there, and she smiles, seeing her sister there to support her and happy to see her. And then Luther's dumbass plan comes into effect and ruins everything. Luther really sucks at his job. Maybe it's the virgin in him, because he was still a virgin by the time, he was he got there, and then some chick who thought he was a furry took his virginity, which is hilarious. But I mean, all the characters are cool. Like, I love number 5. The kid who played number 5. Let me get the thing is, I'm on my computer. Why don't I actually get the Umbrella Academy actual listing and stuff up here? So Umbrella Academy. All right. The kid who plays number 5. If you'll give me just one moment to get that. There we go. Yeah, and luckily and I'm glad we're gonna get more of this series, because the way they ended it with them going back in the past to try to fix things, all of them. If it had been canceled past that, I would have been very upset. But we are getting a season 2, which is awesome. So there we go. So number 5. There you go. Aiden Gallagher. Aiden Gallagher. The way this kid plays, he really does play it as a kid, as an older man in a young kid's body. You really get that sense of the way he portrays. What he's talking about, when we were kids, we used to get in here and get sick on donuts. And I don't remember being such a shithole. And you see the character's not perfect either, because he legitimately does think he's better than the rest of his siblings. Like, your problem is you always thought you were better than us. I know I'm better than you. To which the correct response was, yeah, says the guy who time jumped, not realizing the repercussions of what he was going to do, and wound up in an apocalyptic future, and then reverting back to his 13-year-old body, jumping back again. Yeah, you're better than us, absolutely. No question here. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to say. But that's my reaction. So I am not cock blocking. I guess I feel like we're a little blue balled with Allison, because Allison's ability is actually to actually alter reality by saying, I heard a rumor. And then whatever happens. So we see it in flashbacks only. We never actually see it used in the show. By the time she's about to, she unfortunately gets her throat cut by her sister. I did like Luther overall. I don't hate any of the characters. Diego's really cool. Diego's a bit of a hard ass. At first, he does come off a bit unlikable, but ultimately he does grow on you like a lot of them. And who doesn't honestly love Klaus? Klaus and Ben, who was number 7, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Yeah, Ben Hargreaves. He wasn't number 7. He was number 6. Was apparently dead. Now, we don't know how Ben died, but all we know is he apparently has the ability to sprout monster tentacles from his stomach. From the way I read it, little spoiler for this. It's like, dude, he's got an extra dimensional pocket under his skin, and he just lifts his shirt up and some of his tentacles. So that's pretty fun to watch. Oh, and that actually goes down. I love that. I love that scene. I think it's in the second one, honestly, where it's them doing their thing as kids, and they all just go and wreak havoc in that building and take out those robbers. I will also say, take out the family. No doubt, favorite character in this series is Hazel. I would have initially gone with Hazel and Cha-Cha. They were initially together a really cool combination, because you get the one that's the career agent, career assassin, basically the career woman, and then you get Hazel, who is slowly getting disillusioned with his job, and he actually finds love in Agnes. Oh, Agnes was adorable. I believe that was her name. Agnes? Yes, Agnes. So, and this older woman, Agnes, who was just like, oh, this is Hazel's adorable. He's just eating a jelly donut. And just, it's like, I could eat. I just like the way he kind of presents himself to. He doesn't present himself like this. He's a big dude, but like this or this or this. No, like, I kind of talk like this a little bit. I'm a little muffled, like a little bit of nasal in there, but you know what? I just want to be with you. I just want to. Oh, it's like, oh, Hazel, you ought to give him a hug. Cha-Cha, unfortunately, went from likable to this bitch gotta die pretty quick. Like, she turned in an instant. Just by the end of the series, you're like, okay, Cha-Cha needs to go, and luckily she does go. Absolutely. So don't get me wrong, watching the scenes with them, it's great. Like when he fights Luther, he actually does technically beat Luther in a fight, but Luther's clearly not going all out from the get. Because otherwise he'd probably break the guy in half. And Cha-Cha's actually able to go toe-to-toe with Diego and Allison initially, though Diego would have killed her in their last fight otherwise. So I love the character interactions. We do gotta talk about Vanya and Leonard, or as it is, Harold Jenkins, which my girlfriend goes, Harold Jenkins. So the whole story arc with Vanya and Leonard, me and my girlfriend both agreed that there was something off about him pretty quick. And then when we get the reveal about what's off with them, I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy needs to die. This guy really needs to die. And yeah, it's like, okay, got taken care of. But when we see the progression of what's happening with Vanya, it further cemented why I think Hargreaves really kind of sucked as a dad. I mean, they all said he sucked as a dad, but you can make an argument it's because he was preparing them for something greater than themselves, apocalypse and all that. But at the same time, now I'm not saying Vanya didn't have issues. It's clear Vanya wasn't a stable kid. Let's get that out of the way. It's pretty clear that Vanya was not a stable kid. But at the same time, he could have done better than just have her sister come and erase her memories. Basically, and she even says, he made me an accomplice. And then Vanya gets upset at her. See, I can get because Dad's dead, so that's the one you target. She starts yelling, so it's like, it's your fault. It's like, no, it's your dad's fault. Vanya, I get it, Vanya, but it was your dad's fault. Your dad made her do it. For God's sake. Yeah, and it's clear she felt inadequate because her memory was erased of her powers. So she felt she had a issue, that she needed to feel powerful. I get that. She wanted to feel special like the rest of them. So when you get to see what her powers are actually capable of, the fact that she converts sound into energy, destructive energy, powerful enough to actually destroy the moon itself, I can see why he took the steps he did, but it doesn't make the fact that he fucked up big time prevalent in the story. Hopefully in season 2 they will be able to help her out a bit more. And then just to circle back to when she's going through the nannies, and then they introduce Mom, who's a robot. When she twisted Mom's neck around 180, and then she just gets up, walks backwards, and does. I'm like, Both people go like, They're showing us some pretty gory shit, but that's the most horrifying thing I've seen here. Oh man. Last thing to touch on. The soundtrack in this show is awesome. I had never heard that version of Dancing in the Moonlight by the Top Loaders. That's honestly, I almost like that more than the original version. Dancing in the Moonlight. It's great. First off, my favorite band of all time is Led Zeppelin. But if you're going to ask what are my maybe top 5 or 10 favorite songs of all time, that's easily on there. I love dancing. I love that song so much. Dancing in the moonlight. Everybody's feeling warm and bright. Supernatural. I just love that song. And the scene we get it with is basically just reminiscent. It was a beautifully done scene where you get Allison and Luther finally getting that dance they want as kiss. And it's basically them as they want to be. As they want to be seen. So Luther doesn't have the giant ape body. It's him in like a suit and her in a dress, and it's a great, and you can tell the actors are having a blast doing it. But you also get like, Don't Stop Me Now. I'm having just when they're blowing up the house, or easily the best one. I mean, as much as I loved the song Dancing in the Moonlight, Um, I have to admit, the best scene of any involving any song is song is in with the Istanbul. They might be where he just wrecks shop in the donut shop and just Istanbul, the Constantinople, and just taking them out, taking all those fools out. I was just watching like, if this is what got prepared, if this is what's coming to me in the show, I'm like, I'm sold. New favorite show. It's just, it's great. Oh, it's just wonderful. I do hope they answer a bit more of the whole Hargreaves thing, where he came from, what his deal was. I hope if he's still, I almost guarantee he's going to be around in season 2. In fact, he's going to be alive in season 2 because they're going back in the past. But I hope that because they acknowledge, yeah, we're from the future now, so this is all your fault, old man. I hope they call him out on some of this. So it's gonna be interesting. Maybe we'll get a couple episodes, like half the season with them as kids, and then they'll end up, we'll do a time skip and they'll be adults again. Maybe we'll get that. Who hell knows? Maybe we'll also get a longer season too, because 10 episodes just didn't cut it for me. We need at least one more episode. They could at least do it like they do the Netflix series, like 13 episodes. I think that's fine. Anyway, I digress. So that's my thoughts on Umbrella Academy. Despite the problems I clearly illustrated, I really enjoy this series. This is I thought this was it's a comic book series, it is, but it's a unique one. It feels more Watchmen than, say, the Marvel Universe, or the DC Universe, or Spider-Man, or the X-Men. It feels more like a graphic novel-ish. Definitely feels that way. So, I enjoyed it. I wonder, did you enjoy Umbrella Academy? Let me know what you thought. Some of your favorite moments. Some things you thought might not have worked as well. Some things that you thought worked awesome. Overall thoughts. Let me know. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. As those who want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. IGs for would win. Star Wars, superhero, magic, what if, anything I do on the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Later.